In the vast universe of spirituality, an intriguing concept stands out: synchronicity. Imagine a moment when you think of someone, and suddenly you receive a message from them. Coincidence? Or is there something deeper at play? This phenomenon, introduced by Carl Jung, suggests that the universe is interconnected in ways we can't fully comprehend. What really happens when we perceive these connections? Are we just dreaming, or is there an invisible web between all of us? Synchronicity invites us to look beyond the obvious, to interpret the signs and symbols that appear along our path. Each synchronicity carries a unique meaning, often revealing hidden truths about ourselves and our journey. What if quantum physics is telling us that everything is interconnected? What does this mean for our daily lives? These experiences might be more than mere coincidences. They could be guides for our personal and spiritual growth. As we explore this concept, we consider how it manifests in different cultures and times, reflecting our relentless search for meaning. Get ready to delve into the layers of this fascinating phenomenon and discover how it can transform your perception of reality. Synchronicity is a fascinating concept that emerged from the mind of Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung in the 1920s. Jung, one of the founders of analytical psychology, sought to understand how seemingly random events could hold profound meaning for the individual. He noticed that many people reported experiences where distinct occurrences seemed to align significantly, creating a sense of connection and purpose. Thus, synchronicity is defined as the simultaneous occurrence of events that have a meaningful relationship but cannot be explained by direct causal connection. This concept is deeply rooted in the theory of the collective unconscious, an idea Jung developed to describe a layer of the human psyche shared among all of us. According to Jung, the collective unconscious is composed of archetypes and symbols that transcend personal and cultural experiences, allowing individuals to recognize universal patterns of behavior and thought. By introducing synchronicity, Jung was essentially expanding our understanding of how the human psyche interacts with the world around it, suggesting that there is an invisible network connecting all human experiences. For Jung, synchronicity was not merely a psychological phenomenon but also a spiritual manifestation. He believed that these synchronous events could serve as guides or signals in a person's life, indicating that something deeper was at play. This idea proposes that the universe is not just a collection of random events but an interconnected system where everything has a purpose and meaning. This holistic view can help alleviate the sense of isolation and helplessness many feel while navigating life's complexities. Moreover, synchronicity challenges the notion that causality is the only way to understand interactions in the world. The idea that events can align meaningfully without a clear cause opens up a new way of viewing reality. For those seeking meaning in their lives, synchronicity offers a perspective that can be very comforting and inspiring. It suggests that even in moments of uncertainty, there is a pattern that can be identified and understood. In summary, synchronicity, as proposed by Jung, is a lens through which we can observe the interconnection between our thoughts, feelings, and external events. This idea invites us to reflect on our own experiences and consider that perhaps there is more at play than chance can explain. Each synchronous occurrence can be seen as an invitation to explore our internal narratives and our relationship with the world. The interpretation of synchronicity varies between psychological and spiritual disciplines, but in both, it is considered a manifestation of the unconscious. In psychology, synchronicities are seen as expressions of what lies within us, reflecting our fears, desires, and longings. Jung believed that when a person experiences a synchronicity, it can be a sign that something important is manifesting in their life, something that needs to be acknowledged and integrated. Therefore, synchronicity can be a way for the unconscious to communicate with the conscious mind, presenting paths for self-understanding. Conversely, in many spiritual traditions, synchronicity is interpreted as a sign of interconnectedness and karma. In this context, events that occur in synchrony are not seen as mere coincidences but as messages from the universe, indicating that our actions and thoughts have significant repercussions. This view suggests that each synchronous event has a purpose, often related to our spiritual growth and personal evolution. Thus, practitioners of various spiritual traditions may see synchronicities as a form of divine guidance, a reminder that we are all interconnected in a great cosmic tapestry. The intersection between psychology and spirituality in the interpretation of synchronicity offers a rich field for understanding. Psychology, with its focus on the individual psyche, and spirituality, with its emphasis on unity and connection, can complement each other, providing a more comprehensive understanding of human experiences. For example, a person might experience a synchronicity by finding a significant message in a book they were reading, which can be interpreted both as a manifestation of their unconscious and as an intervention from the universe. Additionally, synchronicity can serve as an invitation to expand our consciousness. By being open to these experiences, we can begin to perceive the subtle connections that permeate our lives. This perception can help us better understand our place in the world and our relationship with others. It is an opportunity to reflect on how our actions and thoughts influence not only our lives but also the lives of those around us. Therefore, synchronicity, when interpreted through the lenses of psychology and spirituality, reveals a rich field of exploration. Both perspectives offer valuable insights into how we can connect with ourselves and the universe in ways that go beyond what is immediately visible. This connection, in turn, can help us live more consciously and intentionally, recognizing that every experience can have a deeper meaning. To recognize synchronicity in our lives, it is essential to develop sharp awareness and a good dose of intuition. Often, the signs we perceive are not obvious. They manifest through symbols and archetypes that resonate with our personal experiences and beliefs. Each of us has a unique set of references and meanings that we attribute to different symbols, making the interpretation of synchronicities a deeply individual experience. Therefore, it is vital to be in tune with our inner self to capture these messages that may disguise themselves in everyday events. The perception of synchronicities is closely linked to our ability to balance reason and emotional sensitivity. In a world where logic often prevails, we can become insensitive to these subtle manifestations. However, by cultivating emotional sensitivity, we can make space for deeper intuition and perception. This allows us to see beyond the surface and recognize moments that, at first glance, may seem like mere coincidences but actually hold special meaning for us. The symbols that appear in our lives can vary widely, depending on our personal and cultural experiences. For example, a butterfly might symbolize transformation for one person, while for another, it might represent freedom. These symbols can appear in dreams, fortuitous encounters, or even in conversations with friends. The key is to pay attention to these details and reflect on what they might mean in our personal context. Thus, the interpretation of signs becomes an intimate practice that connects us with our deepest self. Moreover, synchronicity can be a powerful catalyst for self-discovery. When we recognize a repeating pattern or a resonant symbol, we can begin to question the reasons behind it. This reflection not only helps us understand our own motivations and desires better, but also allows us to explore how our individual experiences intertwine with collective narratives. Thus, synchronicity becomes a tool that guides us toward understanding who we are and our role in the world. Finally, being attentive to the signs and symbols that emerge in our lives is an invitation to live more consciously. By practicing this mindfulness, we can discover that life is filled with meaningful moments that connect us to something greater. Synchronicity reminds us that we are all intertwined in a web of experiences and that each sign is a reminder that we are not alone in our journey. The connection between synchronicity and quantum physics is an intriguing topic that provokes reflection on the nature of reality. Quantum physics, with its complexity and mystery, suggests that the universe is not a collection of isolated objects but a tapestry of interconnections. In this sense, synchronous events can be seen as manifestations of an underlying unity, where everything is interconnected in ways our everyday understanding often cannot grasp. This perspective leads us to question what we really know about causality and the separation between subject and object. At the quantum level, the notion that particles can be entangled, even at great distances, offers a powerful metaphor for synchronicity. Just as entangled particles are interconnected so that the state of one can instantly influence the other, human experiences can also be connected in ways that transcend conventional logic. This interconnection suggests that our thoughts and actions can have an impact beyond what we can perceive, echoing through the cosmos and creating synchronicities in our lives. Furthermore, quantum physics challenges the idea that reality is fixed and immutable. Observation, for example, plays a crucial role in determining the state of a particle. This implies that consciousness can influence reality in subtle ways, suggesting that our perceptions and intentions can shape our experiences. Synchronicities play a significant role in each individual's personal and spiritual growth. They act as signs that guide us, helping us better understand our motivations and life purposes. When a synchronous event occurs, we often feel a deep connection to it, as if it were a direct message from the universe. This type of experience invites us to pause and reflect, to consider what we are experiencing at that moment and how it relates to our deepest aspirations. It is as if the universe is giving us a gentle push, reminding us that we are on the right path or, sometimes, encouraging us to change direction. Moreover, observing synchronicities teaches us to trust more in our intuition and instinct. Throughout life, we are often taught to prioritize logic and reason, but synchronicities show us that there is profound value in listening to our inner voice. When we notice that certain events align meaningfully, it can serve as reinforcement for following our intuition. This trust can translate into decisions more aligned with our true selves, leading to growth that manifests not only externally but also internally. Synchronicities can also serve as catalysts for transformative changes. Many people report that synchronous events were the necessary push to make important decisions, such as changing careers, starting a new relationship, or even embarking on a journey of self-discovery. This connection between what happens externally and our internal choices highlights how synchronicities can act as guides, pointing to the need for changes or adjustments in our lives. Thus, they help us develop a deeper awareness of our experiences, promoting growth that is both personal and spiritual. It is important to emphasize that synchronicities are not just isolated events. They often arise in patterns that reflect our deepest concerns and desires. By observing these repetitions, we can better understand what we truly seek in our lives. For example, if a person starts to repeatedly notice symbols or themes related to an old dream, it may be a sign that it is time to revisit that dream and consider how it can be integrated into their current life. This self-analysis can lead to greater clarity and motivation to pursue what truly matters. Finally, synchronicities invite us to cultivate a practice of inner reflection. By recognizing these significant moments, we have the opportunity to ask, what does this mean for me? How does this relate to my path? This practice of questioning helps us develop a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. By reflecting on synchronicities, we not only expand our understanding of what is happening in our lives, but also become more open and receptive to the natural flow of the universe, allowing it to guide us on our journey of growth and self-discovery. Synchronicities act as true tools for self-understanding, revealing aspects of ourselves that often remain hidden. When we encounter these significant experiences, we have the chance to dive inward and explore our emotions and thoughts. This self-exploration is fundamental to our personal development, as it helps us identify behavioral patterns and beliefs that may be limiting us. By bringing these internal issues to light, we can begin to work on them, promoting growth that is both conscious and unconscious. In many spiritual and psychological traditions, synchronicity is seen as a reflection of our inner state. When significant events occur in our lives, it is common for them to be connected to our deepest emotions and thoughts. For example, if someone is dealing with uncertainties about the future and suddenly receives a message or encounters a symbol that reminds them of their aspirations, this can be interpreted as a call to reassess their situation. This connection between the external and the internal helps us realize that our experiences are not random but part of an ongoing dialogue between what we live and what we feel. Furthermore, the practice of recognizing and interpreting synchronicities can help us develop greater sensitivity to our daily experiences. By becoming accustomed to observing these events, we begin to perceive that the world around us is full of messages and signs. This new perspective allows us to see life in a more integrated way, where each event, no matter how small, can hold profound meaning. This sensitization can lead us to a greater appreciation of the beauty and complexity of life, as well as encourage us to be more present and attentive to what is happening around us. Another important aspect of synchronicities as tools for self-understanding is how they encourage us to question our assumptions. Often, we are so caught up in our routines and beliefs that we cannot see beyond what we already know. Synchronicities act as an invitation to challenge these notions and explore new possibilities. When an unexpected event occurs, it can force us to reevaluate our priorities and beliefs, leading to growth that can be uncomfortable but extremely necessary. This process of questioning is essential for developing a deeper understanding of ourselves. Lastly, synchronicities can also serve as reminders that we are not alone on our journey. When we notice that significant events are occurring consistently in our lives, it can give us a sense of being connected to something greater. This awareness of interconnectedness can be profoundly comforting and motivating. Knowing that our experiences are aligned with a greater purpose can encourage us to continue exploring and growing, even when we face challenges. This connection with the universe and others is an essential part of our personal and spiritual development. One of the most fascinating aspects of synchronicity is how it can influence our decisions. When significant events occur synchronously in our lives, we often feel that they carry special weight, as if they are guiding us toward a specific choice. This perception can be especially useful in moments of uncertainty when decision-making becomes challenging. Recognizing and trusting synchronicities can help us find clarity and direction amid confusion. For example, imagine someone is undecided about changing jobs and, in a casual conversation, repeatedly hears someone mention the same company or opportunity they are considering. This type of repetition can be interpreted as a synchronicity, signaling that it is time to take a step forward. The act of perceiving and interpreting these events can provide the necessary confidence to make a choice that previously seemed risky or uncertain. This connection between synchronicity and decision-making underscores the importance of being aware of what is happening around us. Moreover, synchronicity can help us align our choices with our deepest values and purposes. When we recognize that certain events intertwine meaningfully with our lives, we are more likely to make decisions that align with what we truly desire. This harmony between our actions and our true essence can lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life. By guiding ourselves through these experiences, we can feel more confident that we are on the right path. Another point to consider is that synchronicities often encourage us to step out of our comfort zone. When a synchronous event calls us to act, it can mean that it is time to face our fears or insecurities. For example, if someone notices that they are constantly meeting people who talk about traveling abroad while considering this possibility, it might be a sign to overcome hesitations and embark on the adventure. This push from the universe can be exactly what we need to expand our horizons and grow personally. Finally, it is important to remember that interpreting synchronicities is a personal practice. What may seem like a clear sign to one person may not have the same meaning for another. Therefore, it is essential to develop an intimate relationship with our own experiences and intuitions. By doing so, we can become more adept at recognizing when synchronicity is guiding us and how we can integrate these moments into our decisions. This ability not only helps us make more conscious decisions but also live more aligned with who we are. One of the most enriching aspects of synchronicity is the opportunity it offers us for internal reflection. When we encounter events that seem significantly intertwined, we are invited to look inward and question what these moments mean to us. This introspection is an essential part of our personal and spiritual growth, as it helps us better understand our feelings, desires, and motivations. Internal reflection allows us not only to understand our reactions but also to explore what drives us and what we truly value. And so, as we explore the fascinating world of synchronicity, we are invited to reflect on how these significant events manifest in our lives. Have you ever stopped to think about the little signs that might be around you, guiding your choices and revealing hidden truths? Each synchronicity is an invitation to look deeper, perceive the connections, and understand that nothing happens by chance. Imagine the possibility that, by paying attention, you can discover patterns that previously went unnoticed. How could this impact your spiritual journey? What synchronicities have you experienced that changed your perspective? Remember that awareness is key. By developing your intuition and being open to the symbols the universe presents, you become an active participant in this cosmic dance. As you reflect on all this, ask yourself, how can you integrate these teachings into your daily life? What steps can you take to align more with this network of interconnections? Stay alert, for the universe may be whispering valuable secrets at every moment. What will you do with this information? The journey of synchronicity is just beginning.